Good morning, friends. Welcome back.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, man. Okay, so today is the first main class of our CCNA. Whatever we have seen till now was like very basics, and those things will be again revised in more details in coming classes about routers and switches and all those things. Okay, so today is the main official class. Okay, fine. So, like we have divided CCNA is having like three major parts. One is IP address, another one is router and switch. So we'll start IP address today. And let us see how many classes we can take. At least we need 5 classes, and if needed, we'll go with the 6th class also. Okay, IP address and subnetting is one of the most important concept we need to learn, and we need to learn in a perfect way. We should get very clear idea about this IP address and subnetting concept. Okay, fine. So what exactly is a IP address here? See, I'll go and let us open that same computer network here. Now friends, in this computer network, we can see clearly the devices are connected with each other. Physically, they are connected. And there are many devices here. There is a server, there is a switch, router, computer, firewall, printer, and everything is connected to internet. So this is a very simple computer network we can understand clearly. Okay, fine. Now suppose imagine this computer is communicating with your server. They are physically connected, fine. This computer is communicating with this another computer. Again, they are physically connected. This computer is communicating with something over the internet. He is accessing some email, or he is accessing Microsoft website or whatever. Now see, if this computer wants to communicate with this server or this computer or anything over the internet, there must be one IP address on this computer. There must be one IP address here, and there must be one IP address somewhere on the internet, and there must be some IP address on this server. If there is an IP address on our computer, this is technically called as source computer. From where you're communicating from here, right? So this is technically called as source computer. So the source computer must have a IP address, and the destination must have the IP address. Destination can be anything over the internet, or destination can be anything within our network. So source machine and the destination machine must have one IP address. If there is a IP address on source machine and destination machine, they can communicate with each other. If there is no IP address on any one of the machine, or if there is no IP address on both the machines, then communication is not at all possible. So IP address, IP stands for Internet Protocol. It is a number that we need to assign on every device. Maybe it is a computer, router, switch, firewall, server, printer, or any XYZ device. A IP address must be assigned on every device so that it can communicate with another device. So if there are 300 devices in a company, there are minimum 300 IP addresses we need to configure. If there are 30 devices, we need to configure 30 different IP addresses. In the same way, there are 20,000 devices in a company, 20,000 devices in a network. 20,000 devices must have one unique IP address. Okay, so without IP address, communication is not at all possible. Remember, we said when you take a computer or a router or a switch or server, especially computer and a server, there is no IP address in a server. Sorry, there is no operating system. First of all, in server there is no operating system. In computer also there is no operating system. So what we do here, the first thing we do here is we install operating system, like Windows Server operating system or Linux server operating system, whatever. We install the operating system, and the second thing we do here is assign IP address. Now this machine is ready to communicate with any other machine. Installing operating system means the machine is running. The machine is up and running. Assigning IP address means the machine is ready to communicate with some other machine. Here also same in this computer. The first thing we have to do here is install operating system like Windows 8, 10 or maybe Windows 11. And the second thing here is assign IP address. So once you assign the IP address on this computer is ready to communicate with any other computer or any other device. Maybe it can communicate with the server, or maybe it can communicate over the network, over the internet. Okay, so IP address is mandatory for communication. Now, for example, on this server, I am assigning a IP address as 10.0.0.1. If I say 10.0.0.1, on this computer, it should be like 10.0.0.25. See, the number is starting from 10 in server, the number should start from 10 in computer. There are some ifs and buts, we will see in more details, but as of now, the basic example here is, if the server number is 10.0.0, like starting with 10, on computer also it should be 10. Suppose on computer you are using a number like 192.168.1.10. This is also IP address, but the server IP address is starting from 10 and the computer IP address is starting from 192. If this is the case, friends, the computer and the server, they cannot communicate. It's a big statement. What I said here before, I said IP should be there so that they can communicate with each other. Now I am saying there is an IP address on server, there is an IP address on computer, but still they cannot communicate. Okay, so within IP address, there is a structure of IP address, there is a design of IP address. That design we need to understand carefully. So if the server is 10 network starting with 10, and if the computer is starting with 192 number, then they both consider themselves as a different network, different logical network, so they will not communicate with each other. So these are some of the things we need to understand carefully in IP address. Okay, so as of now, just remember one thing: IP is a number that should be assigned on every device so that the device can communicate with the other device over a network. Okay, and IP stands for Internet Protocol. Normally we call it as software address or a logical address. Whenever you see the terminology software or logical, that means it is changeable. It is not fixed. Now the server IP address here is suppose 10.0.0.1. Let's go with this computer. The IP address is 10.2.5.25. This is the IP address. In case if you want to change from 25 to like 56, we can change. IP address is not fixed. It is changeable. It is a logical address or a software address. Okay. Now every device must be assigned with at least one IP. At least one. See, if a device is a computer, in most of the cases there is one IP. Server, there is one IP. Switch, there is one IP. Printer, there is a IP. But there are certain devices in our network, like suppose a router. In router, there can be like 2 IP addresses, or there can be like 10 different IP addresses. So there are certain devices where one IP address is more than enough, and there are certain devices where we need to assign more than one IP address. So the best example is router. Router, there can be like 10 IP addresses or 3 IP addresses or 20 IP addresses. But anyhow, minimum one IP address should be there on every device. Without IP, like I said, communication is not at all possible. Okay, so like I said, IP addresses will not come with your machines. When you purchase a laptop or a computer or server, router, switch, whatever device, the IP will not come with the device. The device is a hardware machine, and that hardware machine, when it install the operating system. For example, this server is from Dell company. It is a Dell server. There is a Dell server, there is a HP server, IBM server, Lenovo. Whatever laptops you see, the same companies will manufacture servers also. Okay, so we have taken this server from Dell company in this example, and the operating system we are installing is either Windows operating system or Linux. So again, this is a different company. So hardware is a different company, operating system is from different company. So what about IP address? From where we have to take IP address? Can we just take a IP address randomly anywhere? Can we just put any number there? If I say a number like 25.36.156. Like say 630, if I say this number is an incorrect number. It is not a IP address. There are some rules and regulations that these are the numbers we can use. There is a range of numbers we can use. So everything is already predefined. Okay, 630 is not a valid number. Why it is not a valid number, we will see very soon. But okay, IP address we have to take from IFP. Remember ISP friends, internet service provider. The people who provide you internet, these people will provide the IP address to you. So if you want to take an IP address for your website, like when I say www.google.com, I'm able to access google.com, but google.com has a IP address. I'm accessing google.com by using IP. Google website is running on a particular server. Somewhere it is running on a particular server. I'll show you one thing first. If you go to CMD and if you select ping, ping is a very famous command that we will see in more details again in coming classes. If I say ping google.com here, I can see one reply here. It is saying reply from something something. So 142.250.195.142. Can you see this number? Actually, this is the IP address of google.com. So I just copied this. I'll go and paste here. See, I entered the same address here 142.250.195.142. So what I'm able to access here? I'm able to access google.com. And if you enter the same IP address in your browser, from there also you can access google.com. So that is the IP address of google.com server. Okay, so this google.com people also, they have purchased the IP address from somewhere, and whatever IP is there for Google, this one 142.250.192.142, this IP address will be used only by Google. It cannot be used by any other person or any other company all over the globe. Like imagine your phone number, you're using a phone number, can you see the phone number with any other person? That's not possible. IP is also a number, so numbers will be like always unique. So this number is of Google server. So no other person or no other company can use the same number. So they have registered this number for themselves. We have to pay money. IP is not free actually. As of now, I can say IP address is not free. We have to pay money and we have to use the IP address. Okay, so google.com, Google people have paid money for this IP. So if you want to host a website for your company, or if you want to make a website for your business, any business, then that website should have one IP address. So that IP address from where we have to take? We have to take that IP address from internet service providers. They will offer you the IP addresses. They have all the unique addresses. Like for example, if you have to take a phone number, you should go to some office, maybe Geo office, Airtel, Vodafone, whatever network you want to use. Go to that particular office and pay money, provide your ID proof, pay money and take a number, right? Here also same. Go to the ISP or call them and take a IP address from them. So that IP address will be registered on your name, on your company's name, and that IP address is a unique address, and that IP address will not be repeated anywhere all over the globe. Done. So this is what IP address is all about. IP address is a number that we need to assign on every device. Whatever device it is, we need to assign a IP address, at least one IP address. Second thing is, communication is not possible if there is no IP address. Now there are some ifs and buts again. Okay, like in IP address there is something called network portion, there is something called host portion. Network should be same, host should be different. There are many ifs and buts that we will see slowly in coming sessions. But as of now, without IP address, communication is not possible. And IP addresses are provided by this ISP people. Okay, now the question here is how the IP addresses are provided by ISP people, or means from where they will get the IP actually. If you go with a city like Bangalore or Chennai or Hyderabad or Delhi within India, every city has a local ISP. So if a IP address is provided by a local ISP to me, the same IP address cannot be provided by any other ISP in India or any other ISP in globe. So how they will maintain the uniqueness here? There is a structure here. There is an organization. It is called ICANN. This is the organization that is responsible for many things, and one of the thing is IP address. ICANN stands for International Corporation for Assigning Names and Numbering. Names means the domain names actually. Domain names like your google.com. Google.com is already registered there. Can we get another google.com anywhere? Can we just host another google.com website over the internet? That is not possible, right? So google.com is already registered. and google.com also has an IP address. So these people are responsible for maintaining and designing the IP addresses. Okay, so these people have divided everything. They said like, okay, see, we can say the numbering facilities I can manage this include the internet protocol spaces for IP version 4 and IP version 6, and as assignment of addresses blocks to regional internet registers. I can also maintain registers of internet protocol and info. So these are the people, this is the organization that is responsible for designing IP address and distributing IP address. Okay, so these people, they design the IPs as well as they distribute the IPs. Okay, so google.com has an IP address that is a unique IP address because there is a structure. The IP is starting from these people and it is going to different continents, cities, different continents, countries, and it will go to different cities, and from there it will go to each and every person. Okay, now you know what these people have done? These people have designed the IP address into two versions. One is your IP version 4 and another one is IP version 6. IP version 4 was designed some decades before actually. Let me just show you IP version 4 here. (1981). You can see around 40 years before they designed this IP version 4. Okay, so IP version 4 and IP version 6, these are the two versions we have in IP address. Now the simple logical question here is, if IP version 4 was designed in 1980 and if IP version 4 was already used from 1980 till today it is used. Okay, more than 90% cases, 90% computers and 90% companies, they use IP version 4 only. So my question here is, if IP version 4 was designed in 1980 and till today it is used, why there is a need to make a new version, that is IP version 6? See here friends, IP version 4 or IP version 6, it is a documented version. It is a documented structure. IP address has some rules and regulations. We can use these numbers, we cannot use these numbers. This is a network portion, this is a host portion. There is a network ID, there is a broadcast ID. So there is a whole structure there. So this structure is designed by these people. So what we are learning here is we are simply learning the structure of IP address. What is the design of IP address? That is what we are learning. If I can take a very simple example, we know these alphabets A, B, C, D up to like Z. Now there are some people who design these alphabets, right? A, B, C, D up to Z. Can we add any other alphabet? No. Can I remove any alphabet then? No. These are the things that are designed by some people. In the same way, the IP address is also designed by that ICANN organization. Okay, so they design IP address into two versions, that is IP version 4 and IP version 6. IP version 4 was designed in 1980s, late 1970s and early 1980s. IP version 6 was designed in late 1990s actually. Normally there is a misinformation people spread like, okay, IP version 6 is a very new IP address and all those things. No, IP version 6 was designed in 1990s only actually, late 1990s. Okay, man, very sorry. I got a message here like there is a problem in my mic. I'm not audible clearly, guys.
You are clear, sir, but there is some distort kind of sound.
Okay, okay. Okay, I just adjust the mic, so hopefully things will be much better now. Okay, so let us continue. So what I said, IP version 4 is there, IP version 6 is there. Now, the same question, if there was IP version 4 already designed, already there, why there was a need to create new version IP version 6? There is a reason. You know, when they design the number IP version 4, they design the number with a 32-bit binary number. You know, before we see binary and the weights and all those things, there are some numbers that we need to know. Binary numbers, we know binary numbers are like zeros and ones. Binary number is the language of your computer. Binary language is the language of your machine. Okay, whatever we do in a machine, it will be in the end converted into binary, zeros and ones. And what about decimal number? Decimal number is the language that is used by you and me. Like, when I say 3,000 rupees, that is decimal. When I say my car number, that is a decimal. When I say like $50,000, that is a decimal number, right? Binary numbers are used by machines, and the decimal numbers are used by the user. Okay, that is decimal number we use. What about hexadecimal number? Hexadecimal number is a number that consists of binary numbers as well as some alphabets, that is A, B, C, D, E, F. Hexa means totally 16. So numbers 0 to 9. 0 to 9 means totally 10. And A, B, C, D, E, F, these are 6 numbers. So this is your hexadecimal number. So when you see a hexadecimal number, we can see some decimal numbers, that is numeric numbers, and we will see any alphabet between A and F. It will be under F only. That is your hexadecimal number. What is octet we will see later, but as of now binary numbers are zeros and 1, decimal numbers are 0 to 9, and hexadecimal numbers are 0 to 9 and A, B, C, D, E, F. Now see, when they design IP version 4, they design IP version 4 with 32 bits. In 1980s, late 1970s and early 1980s, when they design IP version 4 structure, they design IP version 4 structure by using how many bits? 32 bits. So what exactly is this 32 bits are? 32 bits means I'm talking about this 32 bits. Bits are 1100 something. Imagine these are totally 32 bits now. So IP version 4 is a 32-bit binary number. I repeat, IP version 4 is a 32-bit binary number. But see, remember like 5 minutes before we assign one IP address on a computer in that particular network, and we were assigning IP addresses like this 192.168.12.25. We were assigning IP addresses like this. Now there is a small connection we need to make. Please listen carefully. IP address is in binary format. I repeat, IP address is in binary format. But for a computer, or but for a user actually, IP address is in decimal format. Remember I told you the numbers we use are the decimal numbers. Okay, but computer or the machine will use the numbers as a binary number. So when I say 192.168.12.25, again when I say 192.168.12.25, this is the structure. We will see the structure in more details, but this is the structure or the design of your IP address. So when I say 192, 192 is a decimal number. So what computer will do here is it will convert your 192 into binary. When I say 25, what machine will do? Machine will convert the 25 into the binary number. So IP address is in binary only. IP address is in binary, but this IP address is presented for a user in decimal form. Like, when I say I have written something here like decimal number, DECIMAL MUMBER. This is in English. For me, it is in English, but for a machine, it is again in binary number. There is some binary format for this particular alphabets. Okay, so whatever we do in a computer or whatever we do in a machine, it will be converted into the binary number. Okay, so decimal number I said here, and it will be converted into binary number by that particular machine. So what they have done here is when they design IP version 4, they design IP version 4 with 32 bits. They say like, okay, 32 bits are more than enough. So what exactly is this 32-bit design means? See, there is a very simple calculation here. If there are 2 bits, 2 power 2, how many combinations we are getting here? We are getting 4 combinations. Okay, let me just come in a very clear way for you. Suppose we have like 2 bits, 0 0. How many combinations we will get? 0 1 1 0 1 1. Totally we got how many combinations here? 4 combinations. So if you take 2 bits here, we will get totally 4 combinations. What if you take 3 bits? If you take 3 bits, we will get totally 8 combinations. Yes, see, the first combination is 000 and the last combination is 111. I have not repeated any of the combination. I have taken 0, 1 1 here. So 0 1 1 is not repeated anywhere. This is 1 1 0. This is 1 1 1. So if you take 3 bits, we will get totally how many combinations here? 8 combinations. If you take 2 bits, we will take totally 4 combinations. What if you take like totally 4 bits? I can do calculation like this: 0 0 0 1 0 0 1 0. I can do like this. But see, for 4 bits, we need to write many combinations here. But if there are 5 bits, 6 bits, 7 bits, then it will be very difficult for us to write all the combinations there. So we will not calculate combinations in this way. We will not calculate combinations in this way. There is a way of calculating combinations, and that is 2 power 2. What is 2 power? Why we are taking base as 2 here? First of all, I am taking base as 2 here because binary numbers are 0 and 1. There are only 2 binary numbers. I am taking 2 power 2 here. Why I am taking 2 power 2? I am just taking 2 bits. So 2 power 2 is how much here? 4. That means if you take only 2 bits here, you will get how many combinations totally? 4 combinations. Now, in case if I take 2 power 3, 2 power 3 is how many combinations? Totally 8. 2 power 3 means how much? How we calculate this? 2 power 3 means 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. It will be totally 8. Yeah, this is your 2 power 3. What if you take like totally 4 bits here? Can we do calculation like this? No. The first will be 0 0 0 and the last will be 1 1 1. But totally how many combinations we are getting here? So for this, how to do calculation? I have to say 2 power 4. So 2 power 4 will be how much? Let us see. 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. Total it will be 16. It is not 64 actually. It is only 16. This is 2 power 4. 2 power 4 is how much? 16. That means if you take totally 4 bits, how many combinations you will get totally? You will get 16 combinations. Okay, there is one more way of calculating. This is 2 power 4. It is how much? 16. I'll just cancel. 2 power 3. How much is this? 8. Now see, I am saying 2 power 32. It is how much? Can you see the number? 42, 94, 96, 72, 96. This is the number. Why it took 2 power 32 here, friends? The reason is IP version 4 is divided into IP version 4 is having how many bits here? 32 bits. The structure of IP version 4 has totally 32 bits. I repeat again, friends, IP version 4 has totally 32 bits. So if there are 32 bits in IP version 4, bits will be like 000, 111 or combination of zeros and ones. So if there are totally 32 bits, how many combinations we get there? We get this many combinations. So in IP version 4, exactly we have this many IP addresses. In total, we have this many IP addresses. Out of all these IP addresses, google.com is using one IP. Your server in a company will use one IP. Your computer somewhere is use one IP. See, right now everyone is connected to this class by using internet. Some people are connected using a laptop or a computer, and some people are connected by using a mobile phone. Every person is getting a IP address, whether you are connected by using a mobile phone or whether you are connected by using a laptop. Every person has already got a IP address, and that IP address is one of the IP address from this number. So please listen carefully. IP version 4 is totally 32 bits. The design of IP version 4 is 32 bit. So in this 32 bit, how many numbers are possible? How many combinations are possible? This many combinations. This is 4 billion. More than 4 billion combinations are possible. So just imagine in 1980 or late 1970s, if someone told you like, okay, we are designing an IP address with 4 billion numbers. 40 years before, 4 billion was a huge number, because see how many computers were there 40 years before? How many companies were using computers 40 years before? First of all, there was no internet actually 40 years before. So 4 billion was a huge number 40 years before. But now, we have nearly more than 2 billion websites. Forgot about computers and all those things. I am saying there are more than 2 billion or around 2 billion websites exist all over the globe. Like I said you, every website there is a IP address. So now this IP version 4, we have this many numbers and all the numbers are taken by the people. Or I can say 95 to 98% cases the numbers are taken by the people. I'll give one simple example, friends. You know, when we take a phone number, remember like 12, 15 years before, we used to get phone numbers with 949 something, 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 something. We used to get phone numbers only with the digit 9 here. But later on, we started getting numbers with 8, then with 7. Nowadays, we are getting numbers with 6 also. Why we are getting numbers with 8, 7, and 6? Because many people started using mobile phones, and every person should get a number. Suppose there is a person whose phone number is this. It's a random number I have selected here, guys. So if the phone number is 94945555 something, can you see the same phone number with any other person? Answer is no. But can you see a phone number like this? 84945555. Now this number is possible here, right? Okay, so the number is a unique number. So once you take a phone number, the phone number cannot be used by any other person. Here also same, once you take a IP address, the IP address cannot be used by any other company. So I repeat again, please listen carefully. IP version 4, there is a design of IP version 4, and totally there are 32 bits in this IP version 4, 32 bit binary numbers in this IP version 4. So when you see the combination of 32-bit, it will be 2 power 32. So we will get this more than 4 billion numbers. So again, 40 years before, they considered it as a very huge number. But when internet started in early 1990s, and internet was like huge sensation in mid 1990s, then every person started connected to internet, every business was coming on internet, every website has an IP address and so and so then they realized, okay, IP version 4, we created IP version 4 with 32-bit size, but now the number is not looking big because everyone is connected to network, everyone is connected to internet. So then they realize, okay, let us create one more version. So then they create a version like IP version 6. They created a version IP version 6, and what they have done in IP version 6 here, friends, they have made a very huge improvement, and that is IP version 6 they designed with 128 bits. IP version 4 32 bits. Now IP version 6 they have simply increased the bits up to 128. Now 128 bits means 128 2 power 128. Now you wanna see how many numbers are possible in IP version 6? If I say 2 power 128, now see, in IP version 6, we have totally this many numbers. Million, billion, trillion, hardly we know anything of a trillion, right? But see, what is the size of this number? How many combinations we are getting here? This is place 38 here actually. So just imagine how many numbers are possible in IP version 6. Okay, so I repeat again, IP version 4 was designed like 40 years before. So then they took like 32 bits and they thought like it is enough. But once the internet came, they realized, once the internet comes, they realize like IP version 4 is not sufficient. So they made a new version, that is IP version 6. And when you see the output of IP version 6, you can simply feel like IP version 6 is forever. The total population of this earth is nearly 8 billion. You're one of that person, I'm one of that person, right? Total it is 8 billion. Suppose imagine I need only one IP address. As a person, I need one IP. Means I'm using some device, so I need one IP. But just imagine I'm taking billions of IPs. You're taking billions of IPs. Some other person is taking billions of IPs. Some other company is using billions of IPs. Still, trillions of IPs will be available in IP version 6. That many addresses are possible in IP version 6. So IP version 6 design is forever. But still, 90% or more than 90% companies are still using IP version 4. Why they are using IP version 4? Because they have already purchased the IP address. They have already registered the IP. I showed you the google.com IP. Google.com IP is actually IP version 4 IP. It is not IP version 6. Now just imagine a company like Google is using IP version 4. What about the other companies? I'm using a phone number that starts with 9. I'm using the phone number for last 14 years, 14, 15 years, and the number is starting with number 9 here. After that, I got number 8 also, number 7 also. Like companies started providing number 6 also, right? But what I have done, I am using the same number. Can I use the same number for next 20 years? Of course I can use. So once you register a number for yourself, you're using the same number. Here also same. Once a company registers IP version 4 address for themselves, they will be using IP version 4 only. Now, if there is a new company coming, new website coming, they may look for IP version 4, and if they could not find any IP version 4, then they have to take IP version 6. So IP version 4, we need to pay money. IP version 6, we need to pay money. Okay, there is a question here like phone numbers will be reused after 6 months or a year if not in use. Is it same with the IP address? Exactly, it is same with the IP addresses also. We need to register the IP address for a year. Like suppose you are hosting a website, last 12-15 years we can see due to this COVID and all those things, many business went down. Okay, so if the business is down, the website they cannot maintain. See, if the business is running, they will maintain the website. If the business itself is not running, what is the use of maintaining a website? So if they don't want to maintain a website, then the IP address will be removed for you, and that IP address is available for free. Some other person can use the IP address, the same IP address. So it is a reusable address for sure. Okay, what is the rationale in using hexadecimal instead of decimal in IP version 6? Okay, there is a good question again. Like see in IP version 6, we can see they are using hexadecimal numbers. In IP version 4, they are using only decimal numbers. See, when I say hexa, remember I told you hexa is something that contains your alphabets also, right? So when you say hexa, you're getting more combinations there. I'll come to it later, but right now I can say hexa means you are getting more combinations there. If you use only decimal numbers, you are getting very less combinations, yeah, less range of numbers. Actually, when I say combination, I'm talking about range. You're getting less range of numbers, but when you go with like hexadecimal numbers, you're getting more range of numbers. How many that we will say? Okay, so I hope you understood, friends, the importance of IP addressing. I'll just revise a bit. Please listen carefully. IP address is like internet address. IP address is also known as logical or software address, whatever. IP address must be assigned on every device. Without IP address, communication is not possible. This is a universal truth. We need to agree. We need to remember this forever. Without IP address, communication is not possible. Now, in coming sessions, we will see in IP address, what should be the number we have to use. That's a different thing. But as of now, without IP address, communication is not possible. Now, from where we have to take IP address? There are some organizations or there are some people who offer you IP, that is ISP, internet service providers. Okay, done. Now we have two versions in IP address. One is IP version 4 and IP version 6. And I can say like there will not be any need of making a new version, IP version 7 or 8 or whatever. IP version 4 and IP version 6 is sufficient forever. Now, why I'm saying like this? Because in IP version 4, we got some numbers, that is 4 billion numbers. That was designed again like 40 years before. So 4 billion numbers, still more than 90% companies are using IP version 4. But remember IP version 6, the design of IP version 6 is designed in such a way. This IP version 6 has some trillions and trillions and trillions of numbers. So there will not be a day very soon like the IP version 6 numbers will be over. Okay, so for that reason I'm saying there is no need to design any new version. Why company will design a new version if the old version does not exist? Does not exist means it is finished. So IP version will go down. Nearly it is like taken by all the companies. There are very few free numbers available in IP version 4, but we cannot expect the same in IP version 6 because the IP version 6 numbers are like too much. Okay, so these are the two versions we have, IP version 4 or IP version 6. We can use version 4 as well as version 6 in a company. We can use version 4 or version 6 over the internet. Okay, if I am using version 4 in my computer and suppose there is a website which is using version 6, I can still make communication between version 4 and version 6. Communication is possible. Like for example, I am using an Indian phone number and suppose someone is in UK. Can I make a call to that UK person? Of course I can make. The number type will be different, the code and everything will be different for a UK guy compared to the Indian person, right? but still we can make communication. Here also same, IP version 4 and 6, they will communicate. The logic, the concept we need to understand here is how is the design of IP version 4 and how is the design of IP version 6. Okay, so IP version 4 or 6, in the background they are in binary only. In the background they are in binary, but for a user, IP version 4 is presented in decimal form and IP version 6 is presented in hexadecimal form. Okay, there is a question here, why are there dot and semicolons in the decimal and hexadecimal? See, IP version 4, when I say IP version 4, I said like 192.168.12.155. This is the design. And when you go with IP version 6, 2001 colon 00010 colon something something AD11 colon something. So this is the design of IP version 6. They have designed in this way. They need to separate something, so they have separated by using this. Okay, IP version 4, we have dots in between, 192.168.12.155. Now why these dots are coming? You know, there is something called octet here. Normally when you take a processor, like when you take a computer or a mobile phone, you will see this terminology there also. They will write it as octa-core processor there. You can just verify your laptop or maybe you can see your mobile phone once you finish your class. It will be written as octa-core processor. Octa means totally 8. Okay, let me just write something here. There is something called dual. Dual means 2. Quad means 4. Octa means 8. Hexa means 16. These are the terminologies. So when I say octa, octa means totally how many? 8. Okay, see here carefully. IP version 4 is 32-bit numbers. Okay, and these 32-bit numbers are divided into 4 octets. IP version 4, 32 bits are divided into 4 octets, and each octet is separated by a dot. Each octet is separated by a dot. This is the structure of IP version 4, guys. IP version 4, there are totally how many octets? 4 octets. There are 32 bits. 32 bits are divided into, or 32 bits are separated into 4 octets, or divided into 4 octets, and they are separated by a dot. So this is your first octet, this is your second octet, this is a third octet, and this is the fourth octet. 192 is the first octet, 168 is the second octet, dot 12 is the third octet, dot 155 is the fourth octet. This is the design of IP address. See here, IP version 4 is 32-bit and 32 bits are divided into 4 octets. See, if you're writing 32 bits like this, if you write 32 bits like this is one way, and the second way is you're writing 32 bits into 4 octets. First octet in yellow, second octet in green, then blue, and this color. So, and they are separated by a dot. Tell me which one is looking easy, writing 32 bits in a single sequence or writing 32 bits in octets and the octets are separated by themselves. Obviously it is more easier for you to write octets in the IP addresses in octet, right? If you write IP addresses only like this with all 32 bits, it will not be a good design. So what these people have done here is they have designed IP address into 4 octet. There are many reasons actually why they have divided into 4 octet that hopefully we will see tomorrow and after tomorrow. Very simple reasons, but it will take some time for us to go there. But anyhow, IP version 4 is a 32-bit number. 32-bit numbers are divided into 4 octet, and each octet is separated by a dot. It is not comma, it is not slash or nothing, it is separated by a dot. Now see here, it is written as 192.168.177.10. Each octet is separated by a dot. Okay, now the first thing we need to understand about IP address very carefully is this binary to decimal conversion. These are the binary numbers. We need to know how to convert a binary number into decimal number. And then we need to say decimal number into binary number. This is the most important thing of your IP address, most important part of your IP address, converting binary to decimal. Okay, so before we see how to convert a binary number to decimal and all those things, I'll just take a break for 30 seconds here. And if you have any doubts or any questions regarding IP address, whatever we have seen till now, we can simply clear everything. Then hopefully we can move into the conversion. Okay, there is a question here like 32 bits are converted into 4 octets in IP version 4. So what about IP version 6? IP version 6, they are converted into 8 groups actually. There are totally 8 groups there. We'll see in details about IP version 6, but right now I can say they are converted into 8 groups. Okay, friends, fine. So I hope things are clear till now. Before we move, I just want to repeat again, IP is the most important concept that we need to understand carefully. Okay, fine. So let us move and let us see the conversions now, binary to decimal conversion. Okay, so IP version 4 is totally 32-bit and they are divided into 4 octets. Okay, so every octet contains totally 8 bits and they are separated by a dot. And coming to IP version 6, they are separated by colon. It's not semicolon actually, they are separated by a colon, and these are known as groups. There are totally 8 groups in IP version 6. It is in hexadecimal format, so when we say hexadecimal format, then it will be very easy for us to understand the structure of IP version 6. Okay, so first we'll just go with the IP version 4. That will be easy for us to understand. Then we can just go with the IP version 6 one day. Okay, fine. Now this number is an incorrect number actually. The number that I have highlighted in the green color, 192.168.280.10, it is an incorrect number. I can say that much to you right now. Now you should tell me why it is an incorrect number. I'll explain some more things here. Then you should tell me why this 192.168.280.10 is an incorrect number. You will get your answer once we see the binary to decimal conversion. Now see here. When you convert a binary to decimal, conversion will be same for each and every octet. Okay, I have taken a number as 1 1000000. This is one binary number. This is one combination here. And I got the output as 192. How I got the output? Let us see. Now, we need to start from the right side. This bit is your first bit. And every bit has a value. I repeat, these are fixed number. This is mathematics. We are not making anything from our side. This is max, so this is fixed. This bit has a value of 1. This bit has a value of 2. This bit has a value of 4. This bit has a value of 8. This is 16. This is 32. And this is 64. And the last one is your 128. Every bit has a bit value. See here, friends. This is 1. This is 2. This is 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. Every bit has a bit value. And coming to this octet, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. Here also 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. In first octet also it is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. Every bit has a bit value. Starting from right side is considered as the first bit and it will just move to the left side. Okay, so bit is either a 0 or 1. Now see, if a bit is 0, it is considered as a off bit, and if a bit is 1, it is considered as a on bit. Zeros means off, 1 means on. So what we need to see here is when we convert a binary number into decimal number, we need to simply see how many bits are zeros and how many bits are ones. If there is a bit that is 0, that is off. If there is a bit that is 1, that is on. So see, in this combination, what I have done, I have taken 0, 0, 0, 0 here. Okay, the first combination. So how many bits are on here? This bit is on. What is this bit value here? 128. Another bit is on, that is 64. Now 128 plus 64. All the other remaining 6 bits are off here, right? All are zeros. So 128 plus 64 will be how much? It is 192. 128 plus 64 will be 192. So if the binary number is 11000000, then the decimal number will be 192. See, 0 means off, 1 means on. Okay, let us go with the second example. The decimal I got here is 90, but let us see how I got. What is the combination I'm using here? 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0. So what we need to see here, wherever there is a bit as 1, that bit is on, and wherever there is a bit as 0, that bit is off. So just see the ones. Wait, I'll just open the calculator here. Wait a second. Okay, fine. See here, 64 is on, 64 plus 32 is off, 16 is on, plus 8 is on, plus 4 is off, 2 is on, plus 1 is off. So what is the number we got here? The number we got here is 90. I'll come again. 64 plus 16 plus 8 plus 2. This is how much? This is your 90. So wherever there is a bit as 0, it is considered as your on bit, and wherever there is a bit as 0, it is considered as off bit, and wherever there is a bit as 1, it is considered as on bit. So just say zeros and ones and take ones and ignore zeros. You'll get your answer. Okay, see this example here. It is 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. So 128 is on, 64 is on, and then 8 is on, and 4 is on. So totally how much I got? I got 204. Okay, I'll take a new number here. I'll just come from beginning. Fine. I'll take the number as, let's say, 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 0. See how I need to calculate this. This is your octet. There are totally 8 bits. So if you want to convert binary number into decimal, it is not compulsory that you should take 8 bits. You can take only 3 bits also, you can take 13 bits, you can take 20 bits also. But why we are taking only 8 bits here? Because IP version 4 is 32 bit. 32 bits are divided into totally how many octets? 4 octets. Okay, and each octet contains totally 8 bits. Got it? Each octet contains totally 8 bits. Okay, so that is the reason I'm taking only 8 bits here. Okay, now how I need to convert this? I need to see the numbers. See the first number, it is 128, that is on, place 64 is on, place 32 is off here, 16 is off, so we need to ignore this. Then 8 plus 4 is equal to how much now? 204. One more example. 1111000. I'll just give this space here. 1111. So what we need to do now? Wherever there is a 1, count that particular bit, and wherever there is a 0, ignore that bit. So how many bits are ones here? 128 is 1, plus 64 is 1, plus 32 is 1, plus 16 is 1. Anything else there? Nothing. So it will be how much? It will be like 240 in your decimal. This is a way to convert a binary number into decimal. See, there are many other ways possible, guys. Binary to decimal, decimal to binary. There are many ways in which we can do conversion. If you know any other way, and if you are feeling comfortable in that way, you can simply stick to that particular way. This is one easy way that I'm showing you, but again, there are some other ways are also possible in which we can convert a binary number into decimal, decimal into binary. Okay, I'll show you one more example. Let us say 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1. I'm just using 8 random numbers. I'm just taking any binary numbers here, but totally I'm taking 8 numbers. Okay, now see, 128 is off, 64 is off, 32 is on, plus 16 is on, plus 8 is off, 4 is off, 2 is on, plus 1 is on. How much it will be? It will be 51. It will be 51. So if we take the binary number as 00110011, then it will be 51 in your decimal. Okay, you must be thinking actually why we are learning this binary and decimal conversion. Okay, why we are learning this binary decimal conversion. There is a huge reason for this. This reason will come within like 5 minutes. So please have some patience here, guys. Within 5 minutes, we will see like why we are learning this conversion. Okay, so before we go there, there is a question here like, can you repeat why we took 8 bits only for conversion? Okay, remember I told you like a couple of minutes before, if you take like 3 bits 110, still you can convert this number into decimal. That is possible. But why we are taking only 8 bits here? Because IP version 4 is how many bits? IP version 4 is totally 32 bits. Yeah, it is 32 bits. 32 bits are divided into how many octets here? 4 octets. And each octet contains how many bits? 8 bits. That is the reason I'm specifically taking 8 bits here. I can take 7 bits also, I can take 13 bits also, I can take 3 bits. 3 bits I can convert into decimal, 13 bits also I can convert into decimal. But why we are taking specially 8 bits here? Because it is a octet. And IP version 4 is divided into 4 octets, so I'm taking 8 bits there. I hope you got the answer. So I'm taking 8 because of this reason. Okay, yeah, fine. Now I'll show you one more example, then I'll ask you to do some examples, please. You should do some conversions here. Let me take a number like 10000000. See, I have taken 8 bits here, right? So what I have to do now, I have to simply see where there are zeros and where there are ones. 0 means off, 1 means on. So see, there is only one bit that is on here. And what is this bit value here, friends? This bit value is, we can see 128. So if you say like 10000000, it will be like 128 in decimal. Got it? This is the way we need to convert a binary number into the decimal number. Now, please take your pen and book. Remember, I told you yesterday, whenever you sit for IP address class, we should sit with a pen and a book. Now, I'll just write some numbers here. Just try to convert these numbers and we will get a very big answer here. Okay, so we can see that answer and hopefully we can stop the class for today. So please be careful when you do this practical. I'm just writing some random numbers here. Okay, fine. So it will be more easy now. Yeah. So the numbers are like this, friends. 1, 1. Okay, friends, this many numbers are more than enough, I guess, for today. So just try to convert this number. So meanwhile, I'll just pause my screen here. I'll do the calculation by myself. So within like 2 minutes, we can see like whether our answers are matching or not. If you have to get perfection in IP addressing, if you want to understand things in more details in coming classes, just try to do more practicals once you finish your class. Just try to take any random binary numbers. Just try to take only 8 bits. We know the answer why we are taking 8 bits, right? Because it is a octet. So just take 8 bits and write any numbers and just try to convert that number. Just do some practice after finishing the class. So meanwhile, please do this. 1092. Yeah, okay, friends, I'm done with my calculation. I got my answers. Yeah, very good. I got many answers, man. That's great. Chandrasekhar, yeah, yeah. Exactly, your answers are exact, correct. Syed Muqeed Ahmed. Uh, Syed Muqeed, there is one answer that is incorrect actually. All are correct, and you have not calculated for the last one also. So can you just recheck once which one is incorrect? Okay, last one you have added successfully, but still there is one that is incorrect actually. Yeah, Anmol Sharma. Yeah, fine. Yeah, exactly. That is correct. Simple, right? This is just binary and to decimal conversion. Why we are converting that we will see within like couple of minutes. Why we have to see this? We have learned this somewhere in school actually, right? Okay, one more thing here, friends. Can you please send me your phone numbers? Because you know management wants to send some details to you and they are not able to retrieve your phone numbers from the uh, app here. So can you please send your phone numbers? Yeah, Syed Makhlum Muqid. Yeah, 170 was the number that was incorrect before. Fine. Yeah, Venkatasai Sandeep Tadipalli. Yeah, that's correct. Fine. Okay, I'm just sharing my numbers. You can just verify. See, you got the same numbers, right? Most of you already done with this calculation. And people who are still in this calculation, you can see the numbers clearly. The output is here. So if you don't want to share the phone number in group, just send the number directly. They can see the option here. You can see my name Shakil written there. So just go to click on Shakil and you can send the number. Thanks, Chandrasekhar. So I'm expecting all the numbers from you, please. So just send your phone numbers. Okay, thanks, guys. I'm getting the numbers. So now the question here is why we have seen this calculation. Now see, exactly. Already I got an answer here. Venkata Krishna. So he says, so IP range falls between digits 0 to 255 only. Exactly. That is what it says. That is what the IP version 4 range is. See here, friends. In this combination, I got all zeros. So output is 0. And here I got all ones. And the output is 255. That means we will get any number between 0 and 255. We will get any combination between 0 and 255. If all bits are 0, so obviously it is 0. And in case if all bits are 1s, the output is 255 here. Output is 255. So this is the range of IP address. This is the range of IP version 4. IP version 4 is between 0 and 255 only. See, this is between 0000 up to 255, 255, 255, 255. This is the range of IP address. If you use any number that is more than 255, like see, I have said 192.168.280. Remember, I said it is an incorrect number. So why it is an incorrect number? Because I am saying 280. Can I use 280 there? No, because how many bits are there totally? Totally 8 bits. If all the bits are zeros, then the decimal will be 0. And if the all bits are ones, the decimal will be 255. So I cannot use a number that is higher than 255. Let me just show you practically. I'll just try to assign an IP address in my computer. Version 4. See, I'm using a number as 10.25.56.148. It has accepted my number because in every octet, first octet is number 10. 10, 25, 56, 148. I'm using all the numbers between 0 and 255 only. So there is no problem here. But once if I say 192.168.280, Once I say 280 or 282, what it says here? It says 282 is not a valid entry. Please specify a value between 0 and 255 only. Got it? We can use a number between 0 and 255, or we should use a number between 0 and 255 only. This is the design of your IP version 4. We cannot use a number that is above 255. So I got a clear message here. So it says 255. And if I say like say like 192.168.254.251, it has accepted my number. But if I said 256, will it accept 256 here? No, 256 is not a valid entry. Please specify a value between 0 and 255. So I can use any number between 0 and 255. 0 is a valid number up to 255. 0 and 255. See, I have written clearly here. So IP version 4, the range is between 0 and 255 only in any octet. If you use any other number besides 0 and 255, then that number is considered as an incorrect number. We'll get the message clearly there itself. But I have written 256 also here. Please don't get confused here. It's a very simple thing. 0 to 255 is the range. 0 till 255 is the range. Totally, how many combinations are possible? 256. That means 0 is also numbered. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 255. So 0 till 255 will be how many numbers? Total numbers are 256. But can we use a number like 256? No. Total numbers are 0 to 255. That is 256 numbers are possible. But what number we can use maximum? 255 is the number we can use maximum. Okay, let me show calculation in some other way. I'll select 256 multiplied by 256 multiplied by 256 multiplied by 256. I'm taking 4 256 here. 0 to 255 means totally 256. Okay, sorry guys. 256 multiplied by 256 multiplied by 256 multiplied 4 256, right? Now see, have you seen this number before? 42, 94, 96, 72, 96. This was the same number we got when we said 2 power 32, right? So whatever way you do calculation, you will get this many IP addresses in IP version 4. Okay, so I hope the concept is clear now. IP version 4 is 32-bit. 32 bits are divided into 4 octet. Each octet contains totally 8 bits. So if all the bits are turned as 0, then it will be 0 and decimal. And if the all bits are turned as 1, then it will be 255 in the decimal. So 0 to 255 is the range, and total numbers are 256. So we can use any number between 0 and 255 only. We cannot go with other numbers. If you say 256 or above, it is considered as an incorrect number. It will not allow you to use that particular number. Got it? This is your binary to decimal conversion. Got it, friends? Any doubts? This is the last topic for today. We are not learning anything else. But tomorrow when we come, we'll just have a brief revision of IP version 4, whatever we have seen today. Then we can just move into the other part, the decimal to binary conversion. And there are many more things we need to see. So hopefully step by step, we can see all these things tomorrow. And again, if you have time, you will get some time for sure till tomorrow. Just try to take like 20 minutes or half an hour from your schedule and just try to take some random numbers, binary numbers. Take only 8 numbers. We know the reason why we are taking 8 numbers. So just take 8 binary numbers, any number, and just try to convert those binary numbers into decimal. Just do this on paper. Just do this on a book. It will be easier for you to remember for very long. This is mathematics, friend. Mathematics we cannot learn orally, or we cannot memorize anything. We need to practice. So just take a paper and a pen and just try to convert some binary numbers into decimal numbers. Okay, friends, so that's it for today, guys. That was the class for today, but still I'm here for like a couple of minutes. So if you have any questions or doubts, hopefully we can clear everything, then we can stop the class for today. I repeat again, if you want to become a good administrator, there is only one difference between an administrator and a very good administrator, and the difference is the IP address. If you're good in IP addressing, you'll be good in most of the other concepts. So just try to take this opportunity and just try to learn this IP addressing in a better way. Okay. Naveen, can I get your number, please? Can you just share me your number? That was the class, guys. Like I said, I'm here for like some more time. So if there is anything, we will see, or else we can stop this session for today.
So I got a quick question. Like, do we have the CCNA class on Saturdays as well?
Yeah, this Saturday we'll have the class. Sunday, I'm not sure, but this Saturday we'll have the class.
So regularly from Monday to Saturday, is it?
Regularly from Monday to Saturday. In case if there is some holiday for some reason, then hopefully we can take on Sunday also.
Okay. Sir, and then when the meeting ID would be shared, the CCNA meeting ID, because I'm already enrolled in MCSE, so
Yeah,
I got that meeting ID for that, but I didn't get this meeting ID, CCNA
yeah.
meeting ID.
This was only the third class, right? So maybe like we will have 1 or 2 more classes like this. So then we
Okay.
can share, then they will share a permanent ID that will be there for like some weeks. So hopefully they will share very soon.
Thank you.
Okay, man. Thank you. Okay, friends. So that's it for today. And see you tomorrow at same time, 7 a.m. And we'll continue with our IP address class. Okay. Thanks a lot and have a nice day. Take care and see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.